I'm sure glad you made it today. Before we can get started with counseling, there's some legal stuff, some paperwork we've got to go through. So I know, take a deep breath, let me hand this one to you, and we'll both be kind of looking at the same paper.
Right.
So I'm going to go over it quickly, but I want you to kind of read it as we go, and between the two, if you have questions, let me know. So first about the Counseling Center, let's call it the Center, here at Northwest Christian University. All of us here are graduate students, and we're working closely under supervision with the faculty. And we have different approaches that we'll take, theoretical approaches. Each counselor will be a little bit different, but we'll try to kind of fit, find the best fit for you. We have to discuss those different characteristics of the counseling, the theories with you as we go into session. So, we do videotape. You need to know that.
Okay.
These videotapes are done so that supervisors can kind of overlook and make sure we're doing it right.
Okay.
And make sure everything's going well to facilitate our growth and take care of you and keep it right. These videotapes are kept secure and confidential. Nobody gets a hold of them outside the program, and they're erased after they've been viewed by the clinical supervisor. So you can feel pretty safe and confident about that.
Yeah.
Any questions there so far?
No.
Not really? Okay. And do know that we don't discriminate in the center
Okay.
against anyone on the basis of race, color, national or ethnic origin, age, disability, sexual orientation, religion, marital status, etc., etc., etc. I want you to feel very comfortable about that. Now, the counseling here, to do it the best way, to provide the best care for you, is to understand what you're here for, how we can best help, the reason you came. And you may end up having some questions asked that are kind of personal. You might feel a little awkward, that's okay. Or you might have questions asked that you might think that may not be pertinent, but it's all important information as we work together. It works best when you and I will be working together to kind of seek out all this stuff, so I expect that you'll be taking an active role in the counseling sessions. We'll meet about once a week until the problem's resolved for 45, 50 minutes. We'll develop a treatment plan with specific goals that you want to accomplish. May ask you to try out some new stuff, some new behaviors, maybe take on some homework. We'll see how that goes. Might keep a journal or something. We'll see. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I know it's a little more. But I have responsibilities too, so it's okay. I need to make sure that I'm punctual and on time. That's important for both of us. For our scheduled appointments, I'll return your calls in a timely manner, being honest and candid about the counseling. I will collect fees. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll practice in an ethical and legal manner and make sure that we, keep the situation safe. I do undergo, like I mentioned earlier, regular clinical supervision. So if there are any problems with any things that occur here, there's a number on the sheet down here.
Okay.
And so if there's any problems or you're not satisfied, anything like that, feel free to call about your concerns or questions, etc. They want to hear from you if there's a problem. That helps me too, so it helps us all. It's good stuff. Does that sound pretty reasonable so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you get involved in counseling, it's a little risky on occasion. I don't say that to scare you, but just to let you know, you might feel some increased stress as we begin, particularly in the early stages. Things might just seem to get worse before they get better. Don't let that worry you. It's kind of natural. It's normal. And we'll talk more about some of that as we go. Everything we do here is confidential. And that's under Oregon state law. And there are some exceptions to that. Things like, we are mandatory reports for certain circumstances. And Oregon law defines these as stuff like specific intent to harm yourself or another person, to commit an act of violence, to protect you and other people. If there's harm or abuse that's been done to a child, elderly person, disabled person, or mentally ill person. And it's possible that if the counselor, me, is subpoenaed or court ordered to testify or submit records, that may have to happen too, but we will contact you, let you know what's going on. Any questions with that stuff?
No.
Okay, if we ever get into a family thing too, it's really important that confidentiality is held to with family members and such. Okay, now we talked about the courts and laws, so let's get this out of the way. As counselors here at the center, we do not represent or address legal issues.
Okay.
That's really not what we do. This is stuff for lawyers. So if it's anything to do with divorce, custody, etc., that's for them to handle. We're not to be drawn into that. And this part of agreement says that you're not going to draw us into that. Okay, so, and we don't diagnose mental health conditions. I want to give you impressions, but that's going to be the limit there. There has to be a boundary there. There won't be any formal diagnostic paperwork, etc. Okay, we don't bill third parties, HMOs, or insurance companies. So it falls to you to make sure that you do your best to keep up with the cost of $5 per session, payable when we get started. If you can't do that, though, make sure you make that clear, so maybe we can make some other arrangements. Now, this appointment, the intake that we're going to be doing is all free, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, if you're a student, Northwest Christian University, which makes it easy for you, Eugene Bible College, Pioneer Pacific College, there's not a fee at all.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's a good deal. We talked about these sessions, their length, 45, 50 minutes, so plan for that. And let us know immediately if you've got to cancel. And you've got our number here, so say no to that. So if you're late a lot, miss appointments, things like this, you're going to miss, obviously, the session probably. You might lose your privileges overall. If you're sick, stay home.
Yeah.
Just call us. We'll get you rescheduled. It's okay. We don't want to share the wealth there. If you're heavily under whatever prescription drug that you were receiving, or alcohol, or anything like that, stay home. It's okay. Call us. We will reschedule. If you show up under the influence of these things, we'll probably ask you to go home. Matter of fact, we will ask you to go home. So we want to make sure you get home safe, though. All right. So we'll make arrangements, whatever, or help you to do that. Remind you. So also, no possession of alcohol, drugs, paraphernalia, or weapons here. Again, you'll be asked to leave, and you might lose your privileges at the center. Now, we don't provide extended mental health services 24/7. So if you get in trouble and you're not able to get a hold of us, you can call 911, the U of O crisis line, or Whitebird's Clinic. So that's kind of an outline of all that. And this agreement will be signed by you as the client, you as the counselor, and the supervisor. So they'll all be informed. But don't sign yet till you read it again and are very clear. So you read it before we get any signing done, and let me know again if there are any questions, okay?
Okay.
Sounds fair to me.
All right, sounds
How about
good.
you? All right.